Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be talking about my first L series lens purchase I ever made on the Canon system. I'm going to go grab it. For those of you who are new to my channel, hi, my name is Kyle and I do portrait and product photography here in Toronto. On this channel I post about my process of photography as well as tutorials and gear reviews, so if that's something you might be interested in, feel free to hit the subscribe button down below. This is the 70-200 Canon F4 IS. And for those of you who are newer to photography or don't really know much about the Canon system, might not be so familiar with Canon's branding. From the older film days to current lens lineup, Canon has always indicated their top of the line lenses with a red ring around the front element of the lens. And they call these their L series lenses, which is normally annotated in the name with an L next to the aperture. When I bought my 70-200 F4L IS, and from here on out throughout the video, I'm just going to call it the 70-200. I chose this lens for a couple of specific reasons. Now, I bought this lens in 2018 and at the time I was still shooting on my crop sensor of the Canon M5, and just natively there were not any good telephoto zooms on the EOS M mount, and the same was true if I tried to adapt a EFS lens to my camera. And the 70-200 was a really nice upgrade for me because I wasn't used to using a telephoto lens. It really opened up a lot of opportunity for different types of creative photography. Another reason that I found this lens really nice is because it was a full frame lens, and this meant that I had a clear upgrade path from a crop sensor camera of this lens that I could actually use on a full frame camera. At the time, I was really only interested in shooting with my crop sensor camera just because full frame cameras were just too expensive for me and I couldn't justify investing that much money. And using it on a crop body, you had an effective focal range of about 112 millimeters to 320 millimeters, equivalent to a full frame sensor, which was starting a little bit tight for most applications. But I found that the zoom range was really handy still, because past 100 millimeters you could zoom in quite a bit with this lens. This lens also has image stabilization as stated in the name under the annotation IS, and it allows you to shoot handheld at slower shutter speeds. This is especially important for a telephoto lens because since the lens is so telephoto, even the slightest handshake can really shake up your image. So I feel like IS in telephoto zooms are a must. This really helps for video stabilization because then you don't have to worry about using your digital stabilization. However, in video, there is some audible noise that you can hear from the image stabilization if you are using it. So don't rely on onboard audio if you're going to be using this lens to shoot some footage. One thing that really impressed me about this lens when I first got it was the build quality, and you could really just feel this throughout the heft of the lens and just handling with it. The overall size of the lens was also a lot larger than I was used to at the time. However, if I'm comparing this with some of the other lenses that I've seen or handled, this lens is quite skinny and quite light for this particular focal range. It's also an internally zooming lens and it's weather sealed, so it'll protect your camera lens from dust, rain, and snow, given that you mounted it on a weather sealed body. In comparison to another telephoto zoom that I tried, the 55-250 millimeter lens, I was super impressed with the image quality on this lens. Overall, the lens sharpness is sharp from corner to corner of the image, and color and contrast is very good. I did find times where it didn't really handle sun flare super well. It would wash out most of the image and would lose a lot of contrast, and I really just think that this is because this is an older lens from 2006 and doesn't have all of Canon's new current coatings on the glass, so I wouldn't be able to compare this lens to a newer lens such as the lens I'm shooting on, the Canon 24-70 2.8 L2. But normally I'm using this lens with the lens hood, and this really minimizes the effect of the sun flare if you're not pointing the camera directly towards the sun. Overall, I feel like this lens has an amazing value because of its affordable price for this class of lens, as well as there's being so many secondhand copies on the used market. I found my lens on a local classifieds ad for about $800. It came with the lens hood and the lens with front and back caps. Also came with the bag, but no one really uses the bag that much. And being less expensive than the much sought after 70-200 f2.8, there are a lot of hobbyists buying this lens as well. And what this really means for you is that if you're getting this lens secondhand, it might not have been used as much as something like a used 70-200 2.8 that was used by a professional. Because if you're using this as a hobbyist lens, you probably won't be as rough with it. And over time, lenses tend to really hold their value quite well. So if I were to get rid of this lens today, I could probably get back my $800. I treat this as kind of an equivalent of renting the lens for free, and me having to use it for work helps me justify the cost of the lens. All right, that's all there is for this week. If you guys found that helpful, feel free to hit the like button down below. And if you like my content, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below so you won't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.